Stop 2 of 2023, the Gamakatsu Bassmaster Elite at Lake Seminole. It's been about a decade since we've been here.
I haven't really studied the lake, and I feel good about it. But number one wasn't that great, so this is a rebound opportunity. We're gonna find them, and we're gonna catch them.
And I'm predicting this is one of those slow boils.
Here we are, day one, event number 2, Lake Seminole. But I'm gonna try to go get in front of those pre-spawners that are moving up, those big females. Honestly, I'm kind of excited.
John, so tough.
Definitely gonna go look and find the areas that I want to tune into, figure the fish out, and get some snacks. Practice is over. We are at beautiful Lake Seminole. I don't know where we're at. I drove in the dark. I had a tournament today, little sponsorship deal with Bassmasters. And this is day 4, Sunday, day 4. Drove straight up from Lake Okeechobee. Took 7.5 hours here. It's about 10:30 at night. Just got in, pulled the Tundra and Xpress in, got power on. And you know what? I haven't really studied the lake, and I feel good about it. I know it's been a lot of rain. Tomorrow it's going to be all about going around on the water, seeing what watercolors wear, what water elevations wear, and finding a good feeling place for me to spend the next 2 days and kind of pick around and find some fish. Event number 1 wasn't that great, so this is a rebound opportunity. And honestly, my mind's different. I don't know what was up with mine. It wasn't just the first tournament jitters. There's other things going on in life and stuff like that I didn't compartmentalize and shake off. But I had a good fishing day today, had some fun. You guys will see that video, just a little side hustle tournament for some sponsorship thing. Brought home a trophy doing that, and it feels good to just catch some dang fish. I told Mercer on the stage that sometimes you just got, when you wake up, you just need to punch a bass in the mouth. And I got to punch a couple bass in the mouth today. Hands are sore, got some blood on the thumbs, which means we caught some giants. And I'm just going to try to take that momentum, bring it into Seminole, and relax and just fish like I know how to fish. And that's just, we're going to find them and we're going to catch them.
You noticing a trend at the houses we stay at?
Do what?
I said, are you noticing a trend at the houses we stay at?
What's the trend?
Deer,
Antlers, ducks, fish. We can't do between 2 fish
we're
here.
doing between 2 birds.
Between 2 birds?
Bird 1, bird 2.
We can do between 2 birds.
This is my favorite bird. There's another fish around. He's around.
I'm with you on that. I actually named him Gilbert years ago. I didn't name him Gilbert. A buddy of mine named him Gilbert because he has a big, tall, skinny buddy. It's like 6'9" and like a beanpole, and his name is Gilbert. It's a long story, but Gilbert's a good story because Gilbert was mad that my buddy was on his hole or something. That's what it was. He was mad that, yeah. He said, I went to the lake last week and you were on every one of my holes, Gilbert. Every point I pulled up on, you were standing there.
What I don't understand is how come the ones that are like this in Florida, the darker ones, how come they're always flexed on you, They're 300 yards away and they're like, calm down. Calm down. It must be Gilbert's cousin. Gilbert's cousin's mad all the time.
Gilbert lives from Florida to New York. I mean, he lives coast to coast, border to border.
He's everywhere at once.
I bet you I'll see Gilbert today. What do you bet?
Hopefully.
Yeah, I'll see Gilbert today.
Well, I just took a knife and cut it right down. Kind of perfect motion temperature, isn't it? This is you're on 25 pounds or you're not on anything tournament, right? Looks like a toad could play here. Honestly, I'm kind of excited, and the reason why I wasn't excited is I heard this place was muddied up, and it still might be. But we went down the dock this morning, shined the water, it's crystal clear, so that fits more of what I want to do. I screwed up last tournament and trying to force the wrong stuff for some reason. So I'm trying to be open-minded. I'm trying to just go out, and there's certain things I want to do. I want to look shallow. I want to look deep. I want to look in the grass. And those are the 3 things I want to do. I want to try to make sure I mix it up every day. I'm going to go look around a lot today. I don't know how much casting I'm going to do. I always say that and end up doing a lot more than I want to, but definitely going to go look and find the areas that I want to tune into and figure the fish out in.
I'm telling you all I know. Are you hearing me? It's coming through what I think.
Good morning. Day 1 of practice. Got Bradley Hallman right behind me. We found a little isolated ramp. We got it all to ourselves. Makes us feel like we own the lake. We'll see if that's a good feeling or not. Got some kayakers out here. Water is 56 degrees. There definitely will be some pre-spawners and some spawners, but that might actually open up the opportunity for me to do some live scoping. So we're gonna have to look shallow for spawners, shallow for pre-spawners, live scoping in the timber. We're gonna have to go look at some of the grass, some of the hydrilla, and I think those are the 4 options that I basically have. If they're eating pre-spawners, that'll be chatterbaiting, swim jigging, kind of more aggressive. If they've set a little bit more into spawn, that's when we're going to have to slow down and pluck things like we're in Florida, which apparently I'm not very good at. So we are headed out, and we'll see, man. Excited. Oh my gosh, just a wad of 10 giants. They came up big time. It is over. This thing's, we got this. We got this. We gotta do good.
Did you catch those?
Yeah, I should have caught it. I should have brought some more home. I was throwing it back, and at the end of the day, I caught that bigger one. I was like, huh, maybe some snacks for us. So, got some snacks for us.
It's funny.
We should.
That's what it's going to be every day out there. That's what you're going to have to do. And then the bad days, you're going to have 13, and the good days, you're going to have 29, 27. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You need one of the 2 days to be that
It's
good.
when you're live scoping, most of the day, you're casting fish all day long, and you just get 1/3 of them you catch. Today, you put the trolling motor down for 2 hours, not see a fish.
Yeah.
It's naked. I think they're down. I know they are. They're down in that grass, and they're down at the bottom. They're just buried in all that hydrilla, and they're buried. And where there's not hydrilla, they're down in 25 foot on the bottom. That's why I know that's where they're at in the hydrilla. They're buried in that. So what we need to do is figure out how to. You got a contacts or what is? You got
All the contact falling out.
No, your other eye, it's on top of your eyelash. It's actually high. There you go. I was like, dude's got a fish scale on his eye.
Getting rubbing my eyes, my contacts come out. It's 10 foot tall.
Dude, it's 20 foot where I'm fishing. It's 20.
You can't carry on a 20 foot tall freaking grass.
I don't know at the edge of it, but.
No. So what you can do though is you can, this is what they did last time, is that you can Demiki rig it, or you can Nico rig it, just take a wacky worm. Yeah, with spinner rod and flip it right up against the edge of the grass, because that's where they're at, right at the base of the grass, isn't it? That's where I've seen them today.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of them actually in it, buried up. Mm-hmm. I think I saw fry today, a bunch of fry. So at some point this lake was close to 70 degrees. So it's dropped 10 degrees. Well, it's 58, so it's dropped 12 degrees.
That's why they're not biting.
Yeah.
I asked somebody today, I said, they act like they're in the cold front. And they're like, nah, it wouldn't hurt them, but I think it has. I think that's why they didn't bite.
I think so. And they back it. And I ran the bank, and I didn't see nothing but fish this big on the
Dude,
bank.
it's terrible up there.
Yeah. I
It's
mean, did you
it's
see anything?
putrid. No, it's putrid.
Yeah.
So it's 77 tonight or today. 62 tonight's the low as it gets. Last
That's
night was
good.
47.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what I
good.
told you. That's it. 78, 64 on Tuesday, 83, 67 on Wednesday, 85, 67 on Thursday, 86, 64 on Friday, 86, 61 on Saturday,
Yeah, so it'll warm up the
and then
water.
84 on Sunday. So
Yeah,
like,
that water will be
it's going to
70.
be on. It's going to be back up to 70.
Yeah.
And this is a Florida type situation where the shallow water is going to warm up really, really fast.
Yeah. It's day 2 of practice. And it's confusing out here. So that's where I'm at. I'm confused. Tons of grass. I caught a bunch of fish yesterday. Well, not a bunch of fish, but I caught some fish compared to what I've heard other people say. And I caught some big ones. Problem is, I know they're not repeatable. And that's a big deal. A lot of guys in practice, they go have a good practice, they get all excited, thinking they're going to win this thing the next day. They're going to go right back to that same spot and catch that fish. And that's just not the way it is in fishing. You got to learn when fish are repeatable and when you just, came across and stumbled in some good ones. And that's what I did yesterday. I just stumbled in some good ones. So I try to repeat it all day, and I struggled with that. So I know for a fact I either got to change patterns, change areas, or establish something kind of in that same region and then wait for the timing to get right and figure out the timing. So there's a lot out here you can do. You can go deep, shallow, mid-range. There's hydrilla everywhere. You can push it in the shallow backwaters. There's stumps everywhere. So everything is time consuming when you go to try to check things out. And that stinks when you have a very short practice. So I really haven't done much of the main river stuff at all. I heard the water's getting dirty there. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. It just means you got to figure out how to catch them in the dirt. So we will see. I was building this thing like way too big. Love making my rubber.
When you're talking to me, it's time to reach in and reach out. Well, then let me know. When you're talking to me, it's time to give and give up. You will never know.
I'm starting to think that this thing may be a jig deal. There's some current coming along here, dirty water, maybe a little jig with some rattles, a little Bradley Holman style.
Reach in and reach out. Time to give in and give out. Time to reach in and reach out. Time to give in and give out. It's time to reach in and reach out. Time to give in and give out.
Day 2 practice recap. It sucks. It's tough. It's tough. Caught plenty of fish today, but no weight. And I really didn't discover too much different or new. I got one little thing that was different today. You guys will see a little shaky head thing. I think I can get some fish right there. I don't know if they'll be big or not, but some keepers. And then I kind of got off the main and went to some of the backwater stuff, and I tried. I saw several beds, a couple fish on beds, a bunch of little dinks. I mean, not even keeper dinks back in that stuff. Other than that, not very many fish. But then I got on a swim bait deal and found some more timber that's holding some fish. But the problem is they're just little. They're little. And if this lake pops off like it's known to do, then what I've got found ain't gonna do nothing. But if it's struggle fest, then at least I got some fish found. So tomorrow it's gonna be the thing, is figuring out what to do, practice tomorrow. That way I can eliminate some more water or potentially put something together. I haven't heard of anybody that's catching them. I'm sure they are, but I haven't heard nothing. Everybody looks like they got their head down. If I was catching them, I'd have my head down right now too, though. So. Day 2 practice is over. I picked up my swim bait and I started casting along that grass. The grass was, down and all even. So I was, letting it settle in it, and then I was reeling it fast. I was trying all sorts of stuff. And I scoped around, all of a sudden there's just this wad of tall grass. I threw in next to it, and a 3.5 pounder came out from it and smashed it. I found a dock, looked like it was covered in fish, but it looks like crappie, I don't know. I couldn't get them to react to anything. And then I came up on a point, a little grassy point, so I backed up with that jerkbait and threw it on the edge. And I had one come up and eat it. And I hung up on stuff after stuff after stuff. Or I had to motor myself off even.
I went out on the flat, around the islands last night, for the last 2 hours or so of the evening. I caught one fish, and it was in pads. That's the one I was talking about. And that's the only bite I had in like 2.5 hours out there, all that grass. But I was kind of like you, even though it's real shallow, I think Carolina rig dragging out there would be the deal. But dude, you're talking about trying to find an eagle in a haystack out
I
there.
don't know if you already have an idea.
You don't have a couple of waypoints where you've been bit. I mean, it's just, I don't know that that's how I want to fish. I think I'd rather be on the bank for all getting flipping and that kind of stuff to grind it out. Let's go up and let's see what it looks like, and let's stay on the phone this morning if we get some bites, so we'll know. Because what we're looking for is a drastic difference in fish behavior, right?
Yeah, that's it.
We're not looking for the same fish behavior. If it's the same fish behavior, we'll get back down here pretty quick.
Well, we're waiting in line already. It's 6 a.m. Waiting to get some gas and fuel. I need some fishing fuel. I need something that puts my fishing fuel tank on full.
What do you think that is?
Catching a biggin and knowing exactly what it's doing. That's what I need.
What's a biggin in your book?
On Seminole, 4 to 6 pounders are what you need.
Back home though?
4 to 6 pounders. Nah, that's a tournament biggin. I mean, a real biggin is 7 or up is a big one, 7 pounders are big. We're gonna go way up the river, put in where takeoff is for the tournament, so we're familiar with that area, and gonna look around. We're gonna try to find some fish that behave different, like the ones that will just like come out and chase your lure and actually eat it instead of messing around and being real finicky. So once we've got that tested, we're going to come down and try a few things out in the grass that I haven't done, which, slow down, do a little bit more drag and flipping. I haven't been doing very much dragging, and I think that's what it's going to take with fish rack, and it seems like they're staying close to the bottom. Morning, day 3 practice, final day practice. And to be honest with you, I'm not necessarily anxious or nothing like that, but I'm concerned. I have not found what I need to find, and more importantly, I don't know what's going on up here. That's not allowing me to find what I need to find. So we put up and up the river, put up in the river at takeoff, and we're just gonna fish around and see if we can find some more active fish. When I mean more active, just anything that will actually chase down a bait and bite. It's kind of a last call effort. If we don't get bit up here really aggressively, then we found the area that we're going to fish in. I just haven't figured out how to unlock that. I know there's some fish down there. There's several different ways I could fish. Everything's time consuming, and depending on the weights, I know what to do to get a check. But if the weights are going to be high like they typically are here, then I haven't found nothing, and so that's the problem. So here we go, day 3. Try to keep a smile on my face, try to stay focused. Tournament starts tomorrow. There is no off day, so somehow I got to get all my rods rigged and everything like that today as well. So that's that may be more important than anything, is just kind of have peace of mind, because I don't want to be up all late tonight. We've been on the road for 2 weeks now. Not much sleep, not much rest, and I gotta get my head right for tomorrow, because tomorrow is game day. So no matter what happens today, it's going down tomorrow, ready or not. Well, there you go, boys and girls. That's the species that we're going for. They call this the ever-elusive black bass. Good night. Just looking on the edge, and there he was. I have covered and covered and covered the edges. So the question is, did I get them figured out? Final day, day 3 of practice. And the answer is I got a glimpse. I got a glimpse of something. I don't know how big a deal it is, and I'm going to leave it to the tournament to find out. But I spent the first 2 days a lot of practice live scoping. I mean, the majority of practice live scoping. And I caught some fish day 1. I mean, I had 3 big ones on. The problem is I know when it's repeatable, and it has not been repeatable. Day 2, I had probably 13 pounds doing it, and I felt like I was basically maxed out at that. And it is, I mean, it is a blowing and blowing. And I'm afraid I'm gonna get down here and live scope and max out at 13 pounds. Now there's a chance I come across some big ones and really do good, but I stayed up in the river today and worked hard at it and came across one little section. I caught 2 5.5s, boom, boom, real fast, whining a chatterbait. The thing is these fish look right. They're in the right area, they're fat, they're healthy, big old females, haven't spawned yet, and there's a spawning area right behind them. And the area where I caught them has good, healthy water. It's got depth, it's got hydrilla, it's got the right water color, the wind's gonna be pushing in there the right direction. And I really think there's a chance that this one little stretch, this 100-yard stretch, could put 20 to 25 pounds in the boat. I may have to go up and down it all day long, and it's not really the way I like to grind things out. But I haven't seen anything else that could continually pump out 5-pounders like that. I mean, I just 2 bites real quick. It's just, you know, you just get these sensations, these gut feelings, if you will, and that spot's giving me that gut feeling. Now I drew boat 85 tomorrow, so I could roll in there and someone's sitting on that spot. And if someone's sitting on that spot, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt, because I really don't have a backup plan up in that area, up that way, that I like to do. I found some bedders, we found some spawners, Bradley did too. Unfortunate thing is I saw multiple other anglers looking at these fish too, so they're known. The fish are starting to spawn, and so what I'm thinking here is that there's some males starting to make some beds, and there's probably a few females starting to lock on, but the big females are just sitting out just in front of where they're spawning. And that's why I really like this spot that I have, because it's just out from, it's the main lake fish funneling into this backwater area, and they got to funnel into this little canal. And I caught one right in the mouth and one on the inside of it. And so that's really what I think is focusing on, putting my lure in the area where the big females are living, instead of chasing these 2-pound bucks that are on the bed. I think over the course of the next 2 days, and even the 3 and 4 days of the tournament, you're going to see just waves of spawners start to show up, and guys are going to be, you're going to definitely see guys that have whacked them from sight fishing, so from bed fishing. So that's the plan. I mean, obviously here I got 20 rods rigged. I got 2 different methods that I'm going to go with. I got a flipping chatterbaiting deal, flipping chatterbaiting, and then I've got basically a live scoping deal where I'm jerk baiting, and I've got some various little odds and end lures that I need to have rigged up in between there. Just tools need to be rigged and ready to go, but I'm going to try to keep it really simple on the deck tomorrow. Starting out, I'm going to have a couple chatterbaits and a couple flipping baits, and that's it. I flipped this morning. I flipped a lot this morning. I caught a couple fish flipping, but then when I picked up the chatterbait, I caught a couple big fish. And then as the day went on, the chatterbait bite died. So what I really think I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to put that chatterbait in my hand for the first 3 to 4 hours. Just keep covering water, keep covering water, keep covering water. And I know I'll fish over fish, but the plan is that chatterbait will make them a big one, just open its mouth, dude. They had it so deep. You guys will see the videos, just down inside its throat, and that's exactly what you want to see. So I'm happy with the results of the 2 bites that I got, and I'm going to bank on that until that bite doesn't happen, and then I'll go to flipping. Of course, I got a frog and stuff ready to go too, but really haven't had anything come up on a frog. Had some fish follow swim bait today, so I'll have a swim bait tied up for the really, really clear water. Found some water today that's just gin clear. So there's some fish piling in that area too. They're wanting to spawn there. So that's basically a practice wrap. I'm not necessarily excited about tomorrow, but I'm not in dismay. I kind of have an understanding what to do. Flight 4 weighing in at 5 o'clock. I got a long day tomorrow. And then, which is good on a windy day to have a longer day. Day 2 will be a calm day, and I'll have a shorter day. And you may see me go back to live scoping on day 2. It'll be a lot better day to do it. We'll just see what day 1 brings us first. Try to skin this cat one leg at a time.